It's a new era in Mineral Wells. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Jack Powell Ford Mineral Wells football show, right here on the S2S Sports Network, part of L4 Media. And I am so excited to be able to talk Mineral Wells football each and every week with the new head coach, Coach Cody Worrell. Now, if you don't know, we did a episode with him on the On the Move series where we talked to new coaches in 4A, 3A, and 2A. That's down below. Somewhere on this page or on this show page, not maybe this exact page, but on s2ssports.com. If you would like to see that or hear that, I should say. But each and every week, I will be talking to Coach Cody Worrell about all things Mineral Wells. We'll go on the ins and out. Basically, a review preview. Like this week, we talk about the offseason, and then we preview the game against River Oaks Castleberry. And then next week, we will review River Oaks Castleberry and then preview Fort Worth Western Hills. And then we'll also talk about some of the ins and outs of the programs, get to know Coach Worrell as not just a coach, but as a person. Talk about the JVs and the junior highs and all that kind of fun stuff. Just all things encompassing the Mineral Wells football program. All this is made possible by our title sponsor, Jack Powell Ford, right there in Mineral Wells. You can visit him online if you're not in Mineral Wells or if you are in Mineral Wells at jackpowellford.com. Of course, you can get new cars, pre-owned, certified, specials. If you're having an issue with your car, call their service and parts department. They're one of the best in Dallas-Fort Worth. You can actually call the parts department at 940-468-3111. You can call the sales at 940-468-8502. Right now, you can see if you're pre-qualified, which is one of the cooler things you can do now. You can go online. You can get pre-qualified through their website. It does not affect your credit. You don't even have to give your Social Security. It's just wanting to kind of know where you're at financially so they can kind of give you a ballpark figure of how they can help you. So we do want to appreciate, we do want to say thanks to Jack Powell. We do appreciate him for being the title sponsor. Again, that's jackpowellford.com. All right, well, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to get right into it. Joining me after the break is the head coach of the Rams, Coach Cody Worrell, right here on the Jack Powell Ford Mineral Wells football show on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media. Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. Terry Bennett back here on the Mineral Wells ISD football show, brought to you by Powell Ford, right here on the S2S Sports Network. We're now joined by I keep saying you, the new head coach, because technically you are the new head coach of the Rams, Coach Cody Worrell. And Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
Oh, doing great. Hey, first week of football. Speaking of, we talked when you first moved and we had the On the Move episode. We talked about all the things that you were excited about with Mineral Wells, the talent and the fan base. You've now done, your August workouts, your scrimmages. Where do you think y'all are right now?
Well, we're a little bit further along than I thought we would be. We still have a lot to work on. We still have some offensive schemes to put in and defensive schemes to put in, but our base stuff is in and our kids are executing it well. Just like everybody else right now, just battling the heat. Really in the afternoons, anything that we do in the afternoons with our freshmen and junior highs, just battling that heat and trying to get things as smooth as possible on that end.
Yeah, it's been the hottest August since like the 2010 or 2011. I can't remember exactly when, but this just feels different this year. Like there's no cool moment. Even if you're out working out in the mornings, it's already 86, 87 degrees. As a program, what do y'all do with that? Is it more water breaks? Is it ice baths? What are y'all trying to do?
Well, our kids, our varsity and JV work out at 6:30 in the mornings. We have first period athletics. So, but you're exactly right. I mean, it's nice and cool. I'm telling you, early last week I had to, it was like 68 degrees. I had a little pullover on in the mornings, and as soon as that sun, rises, it instantly heats up about 20 degrees as fast. I mean, it's something crazy. You're exactly right. But as far as what we do, so the mornings aren't too bad for us as far as accommodating water breaks. We do give them plenty of water breaks, and we have student trainers out there to do a really good job of making sure our kids have plenty of water. In the afternoons for our junior high and freshmen, there's not much shade, but we try to get as much shade as possible. I've been telling those coaches, don't have unnecessary time out there.
Yeah.
Don't teach out on the field when it's hot. Teach in the locker rooms on the board, and then execute when we go out there in the evenings. I'm sorry. And so I just don't want any unnecessary time outside is my big thing. If we're stopping and learning about something, try to do that inside the building. And let's try to, run our plays and get whatever we got to do. Try to limit practice as much as possible.
Now, I've been talking with coaches who are at new places, and the biggest thing I've been told, and I've been told this before, is as a new coach, it's just as important for the players to learn to trust y'all as not only coaches but as men, as it is for them to learn their schemes and such. And for you, you're kind of coming into an interesting situation with what happened to the previous coaching staff and all that. Are you seeing the players starting to trust y'all and your staff?
I do. I mean, anytime you go into a new spot, and for me being a brand new head coach, or being a head coach for the first time, that was one thing that when I first got the job, I put together a unity council, and they were kind of our influencers, because you can't, I got with Coach Tim McCune who had been here and tried to get some guys who he thought were leaders and that were influencers. And I spilled, I told them all about my life, the good times and the bad, and they relayed that message back to me. We talked about, the highlights of their lives so far and the downtimes, the hardest things that ever happened to them, and just kind of getting to know them on a personal level. And that installed some trust, I think, between the players and myself and the new coaches that have came with me. They've done a really good job of reaching out to our kids and gaining that trust and even the trust of the coaches that were previously here that are still on staff. And it's just a great way to, our coaches on both accounts, all of our coaches are doing a great job of getting to know each other and getting on the same page about how we do things. And our players have done a fantastic job of that as well.
All right, let's talk about your first opponent. You're playing a team in River Oaks, Castleberry, the Lions, and you and I were talking off the air. Their record isn't good, but, man, when you look at the film of them, they have some guys that are huge, athletic, and just you feel like they're a little bit away from being possibly a really solid team.
Oh, no, without a doubt. Coach Silva and his coaching staff do a great job with those kids, man. When I say that they're big up front, one of the biggest offensive lines I've ever seen. And Coach Silva told me that before I turned on the film. He said, Coach, we're big up front. And I'm looking at the scouting report this morning again. And 6'7", 300, 6'2", 295, 6'4", 300, 6'2", 275, 6'5", 250. I mean, they've got some monsters up front. And most of them are juniors. This is what Coach Silva was telling me that junior class for them is really special. And I think they were in 7th grade when he first took the job, and they kind of waiting for this class to come through. And I think they lost 3 games in junior high, and 2 of those losses were Argyle, which is obviously everyone knows who Argyle is and what kind of program they have. Their quarterback, the Valdez kid, is a junior, and he's a GoDaddy. I mean, he can hurt you with his feet, and he can hurt you with his arm. I mean, he throws the ball really, really well. Their defense flies around with the football. That's the one thing that I've noticed on film is anytime, it doesn't matter if it's a pass or a run, they're getting to the football. You always see a lot of, red jerseys around the football, no matter if it's, right at the line of scrimmage or, 12, 15 yards downfield, they're getting to the football.
For you, looking at your program, you've had 2 scrimmages. What is the one thing that, in a positive way, has surprised you about your team?
The support. Well, I'll say this: just the buy-in from our kids.
Yeah.
Doing exactly what we've asked them to do. There's been some hiccups along the way. Don't get me wrong. They're just, the first day of 2 days, just an actual practice about how our routine is and how we do things. After that first day, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? But day 2 and day 3, just got smoother and smoother. Now our kids are on schedule, after 2, and really our schedule now, we're trying to get them back on a game week schedule. And so just their total buy-in of exactly how we do things and what we're doing has been tremendous. And our kids, man, we got some good kids. We really do. They're just good, hardworking kids, and we kind of taken the blue collar mentality because I think it fits our kids and our community because we are a hardworking town, and our parents are hardworking individuals, and our kids are hardworking individuals, and it's just been a joy to be around these guys. Well,
and you talk about the buy-in from the kids, but the buy-in from the parents and the buy-in from the community is just like the excitement of doing this show. They are buying in to the enthusiasm that you and the coaching staff are showing.
No, you're exactly right. We started they've had a coach's breakfast here every Friday morning. I think for the guy told me he started it, Don Crawford. I think he said that they're on year 32 of doing a coach's breakfast every Friday morning, which a lot of towns do that. We're going to bring our mentorship program to that. And last week we had a kind of a preseason get together, and man, had a lot of community members, from police officers to firemen and just people around the community that want to buy in and be at those breakfasts and be a part of our mentorship program, where they're actually mentoring a player on the team and getting to know that player, just being real positive with them. And it's a great way for our community involvement. And it is. When I say it's been overwhelming how supportive the community and the administration has been, it's been that times 1,000. Mineral Wells is a special place. It's turning around not just for the school district, but the community itself. They're putting a lot of money into the city to restructure the city, whether it be roads or restaurants, the downtown area. It's unbelievable.
Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. I want to thank Coach Cody Worrell for joining me here on the inaugural Mineral Wells football show brought to you by Jack Powell Ford. It's going to be a fun season. I think that, yes, the Rams are in a tough district, but I don't think it's an overly tough district. First off, 5 teams. So if you just win one game, you're going to make the playoffs. I think that inside this district, there's upward mobility there for the Rams. I truly do. You look at a team like Springtown last year, they go 3-8. They did beat Mineral Wells. That got them into the playoffs. I think this year Mineral Wells can match up well with Springtown. Now, Springtown was young last year, and I'm not trying to knock the Porcupines at all. Brian Hewlett's done a wonderful job there. And honestly, this was one of last year. They went from a team that had been 13-2, 11-3, 10-4 to boom, they cratered at 3-8. But a lot of that was because how young they were. And they're still young, and they return a ton. So I'm not trying to say that Mineral Wells is a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 3 points better than Springtown. I'm saying that Mineral Wells can put themselves into that same ballpark. It's not about, hey, if you go undefeated, that's great. If you can go undefeated in district and win district, that is awesome. But it's not about that right at first. It's beating the teams that are in your ballpark, that you're at the same level or slightly above or slightly below. Beat them, you get into the playoffs. And for Mineral Wells, it's just beat one. Win one district game. You're in the playoffs. And I think they can do that. Now we'll just have to see. I think the talent is there. I think the new coaching staff has ingrained themselves well into the program, not only with the players, but with the people themselves, the fans, the parents. And I think it's going to be a fun year. And it's going to be fun to follow the Rams. And we'll be following them each and every week, including next week right here on the Jack Powell Ford Mineral Wells Football Show on the S2S Sports Network, part of L4 Media.